Signs from the universe or coincidence? Have you ever found yourself noticing the same number again and again, on a receipt, a license plate, or even in a dream? It's easy to shrug it off as coincidence. But what if those numbers were more than random patterns? What if they were messages, subtle nudges from the universe trying to get your attention? As we approach Saturday, May 17, 2025, a day marked by rare cosmic alignments, many believe certain numbers carry heightened energetic frequencies. But these aren't just lucky numbers, meant to increase your chances at a lottery win. They are symbols, drawn from the deep teachings of Buddhism, carrying wisdom that can guide you not just toward material abundance but toward a more meaningful life. In this exploration, we'll uncover the spiritual meanings behind 6 powerful numbers: 11, 17, 18, 22, 29, and 34. Each number is a teacher. Each carries a vibration. Each reflects a truth that, when embraced, can change the way we live, decide, and pursue our dreams. Whether you're here out of curiosity, hope, or a deeper calling, trust that these numbers found their way to you for a reason. Let's begin. Chapter 1. Number 11: The Gateway to Intuition and Higher Awareness. Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. The Buddha. The number 11 has long been considered sacred. In numerology, it is known as a master number. And in spiritual traditions worldwide, it's seen as a gateway, a portal to higher consciousness. To many, it appears at moments of reflection, decision, or inner questioning, almost like a whisper from the universe saying, "Pay attention." The spiritual doorway. Unlike more straightforward numbers, 11 carries a mystical vibration. It is not linear, it's dimensional. 2 ones standing side by side, like pillars of light, inviting us to walk through. In Buddhist thought, this echoes the concept of Kensho, the first glimpse into one's true nature. It's not about gaining something new. It's about remembering what has always been there, hidden beneath the noise of modern life. When you encounter 11, especially repeatedly, it may be a sign that you're being called to turn inward, to listen to the deeper voice beneath your thoughts, the voice of intuition. Silence. The first step toward wisdom. In Buddhism, silence isn't emptiness, it's a space rich with presence. The teachings remind us that true wisdom doesn't shout, it whispers, and 11 amplifies this subtle voice. Imagine it as a bell in a temple, gentle, but impossible to ignore. You don't need external validation or logic to justify what you feel in your bones. That's the kind of insight 11 brings. Direct knowing, often without explanation. As Thich Nhat Hanh once said, "The present moment is filled with joy and happiness. If you are attentive, you will see it." Number 11 nudges you to that very attention, to look within, not outward. For your next move, energetic alignment with Uranus. Astrologically, May 17, 2025, carries the influence of Uranus, the planet of sudden change, intuition, and innovation. Uranus doesn't ask for permission, it brings breakthroughs and surprises. When paired with the energy of 11, it suggests that something in your life is ready to shift, especially if you've been sensing a call for transformation. Are you facing a choice you've been avoiding? Feeling uncertain about a life path or relationship? The presence of 11 is more than luck. It's a nudge, a spiritual prompt, to trust your inner compass. A practice for number 11. Trust your inner voice. Here's a small practice to help align with the vibration of 11. Find a quiet space. Sit comfortably. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply. With each exhale, release tension. Ask yourself, what is life trying to show me right now? Listen, not for loud answers, but for gentle nudges, visuals, emotions, or subtle thoughts. Repeat the affirmation aloud. I trust my path. I am ready to follow my inner truth. When you live in alignment with that truth, you're already abundant, regardless of your bank account. Chapter 2. Number 17. Resilience, discipline, and long-term success. Endurance is one of the most difficult disciplines, but it is to the one who endures that the final victory comes. Buddha. In a world increasingly obsessed with speed, instant success, and overnight transformations, the number 17 appears as a quiet rebellion. It doesn't promise sudden miracles or rapid results. Instead, it arrives with the energy of patience, persistence, and deep inner strength. To see this number, especially in a spiritual context like that of May 17th, 2025, is to receive a powerful reminder. The path may be long, but you are being built for it. This is the number of the spiritual worker, the silent warrior, and the disciplined soul who dares to trust the process even when results are not visible. It's the number of someone who keeps showing up, not for applause or instant gratification, but because they are committed to something bigger than their ego: growth, mastery, and contribution. The silent power of steady progress. Let's begin by debunking a common myth. Success doesn't always look glamorous. It doesn't always show up in the form of wealth, fame, or recognition. Often, it looks like showing up day after day, doing the inner and outer work with no one watching. That's the energy of 17. Where number 11 teaches us to listen within, 17 teaches us to act on that inner voice with unwavering commitment. It's about discipline, not the kind forced by guilt or fear, but the kind born from love, from clarity, and from an honest desire to fulfill your potential. In Buddhist tradition, discipline, Sanskrit, sila, is considered one of the three foundations of spiritual practice. Alongside meditation, samadhi, and wisdom, prajna. Without discipline, we may have fleeting insights but lack the structure to embody them in real life. 17 is the architect of that structure. When you feel like giving up, many people see the number 17 during moments of doubt. Maybe you've done everything right, stayed focused, worked hard, been kind, and yet, the success you imagined still feels far away. This is when the vibration of 17 whispers to you, you're stronger than you think. In those moments when your efforts feel invisible and your journey feels endless, number 17 appears as a spiritual companion. A reminder that true success isn't always seen right away, but it is always built. It reflects the paramita, perfection, of virya, the energy and effort to overcome laziness and discouragement. Buddhism teaches that the path to enlightenment is not walked in a single step. It's walked moment by moment, intention by intention, action by action. 17 tells us, you're not failing, you're forming. Numerological breakdown. 1 plus 7 equals 8. In numerology, 17 reduces to 8, a powerful number associated with karma, abundance, mastery, and manifestation, while 8 is often considered a money number. Its deeper meaning is balance, the perfect interplay between material and spiritual power. So, what does this mean for you? Seeing 17 is not just a sign of patience, but also a hint that your work, your effort, your integrity, is creating results behind the scenes. Just like a seed planted deep in the soil, the fruits may not be visible yet, but the roots are taking hold. It's a karmic assurance. If your actions are aligned with truth, the universe is already responding. The Saturn connection. Discipline as devotion. Astrologically, 17 resonates with the planet Saturn, the great teacher of the zodiac. Saturn gets a bad reputation, often associated with restriction, delays, and hard lessons. But beneath that exterior lies a deep spiritual truth. Saturn doesn't punish. Saturn prepares. When you're under the influence of Saturn, or, in this case, the energy of 17, you are being invited to build something that lasts. Not just wealth, but wisdom. Not just outcomes, but inner order. Think of Saturn as the Zen master of the cosmos. It strips away what is unnecessary and strengthens what is essential. If your journey feels slow right now, if the path seems filled with detours, consider this. You are not being delayed, you are being fortified. The Buddhist view. Effort as a noble practice. The Eightfold Path, the cornerstone of Buddhist practice, includes right effort, the conscious energy to cultivate wholesome states and abandon unwholesome ones. This isn't the effort of striving or pushing. It's the effort of consistency, mindfulness, and intention. When you see 17, ask yourself, what am I cultivating, day by day, that will bloom in time? Where have I been diligent, even when no one noticed? How can I continue, not out of fear, but out of love? 17 invites you to reclaim effort as a form of devotion. It's not about grinding, it's about growing. Reflection exercise. The Journey Journal. Here's a practice to help you connect with the vibration of 17. Create a timeline of your last 1 to 5 years. Mark the moments where you faced difficulty but chose to continue. Note how you changed because of those experiences. Now write this affirmation in bold across the top. I trust the timing of my life. I honor my path, and I keep showing up. Use this journal as a reminder that progress doesn't always feel like winning, but it always feels like growth. From struggle to stability. Here's the truth. Many people give up right before the shift happens. They let go one step from breakthrough. 17 asks you to stay the course. That doesn't mean never adjusting or evolving. But it does mean not abandoning yourself when things get hard. Ask yourself, what am I building that is worth waiting for? Can I replace frustration with faith in the process? Who am I becoming as I wait, work, and walk this path? If you look back, you'll realize you've already survived what you once thought you couldn't. That is proof of the power you carry. From waiting to creating. While 17 teaches resilience, it doesn't ask you to just wait. It also urges you to participate in your growth. This is not passive surrender. It is active trust, the kind that keeps showing up, creating systems, learning skills, and staying in motion. It says, make the plan, and then make peace with the timeline. Take small steps, but do them with great faith. Be patient, but not passive. A meditation. Embodying the energy of 17. Find a quiet space. Sit in a relaxed position. Close your eyes. As you breathe in, repeat silently, I trust. As you breathe out, repeat, I continue. Visualize yourself walking up a mountain path. You can't see the summit, but with each step, you feel more grounded, more certain. The air gets clearer. Your mind gets sharper. You're not rushing. You're becoming. Stay here for 5 to 10 minutes. Let the energy of 17 anchor you in your truth. Conclusion. The deeper fortune. The true fortune of number 17 is not quick wealth or sudden gain. It is the wealth of becoming the kind of person who can hold success, sustain blessings, and embody wisdom through every stage of life. It's about building the kind of inner strength that doesn't just survive challenges, it thrives because of them. So as you move towards Saturday, May 17th, 2025, let 17 be your steady companion. When doubts creep in, remember, your efforts are not in vain. Your progress is real, and your patience is not a weakness, it is your superpower. You are not just hoping for success. You are becoming someone who can live in it, hold it, and share it. Chapter 3. Number 18. The Warrior Spirit and the Call to Rise. It is better to conquer yourself than to win 1,000 battles. Then the victory is yours. It cannot be taken from you. Buddha. The number 18 does not arrive gently. It does not whisper like 11, or wait in quiet discipline like 17. It comes with a call to rise, to evolve, and to step into your power. It speaks the language of transformation, not through comfort, but through courage. If you've been encountering the number 18 recently, or if it speaks to you as May 17th, 2025 approaches, it is a clear message. You are standing at the threshold of something important. You're being invited to become the warrior of your own story. But let's be clear, this isn't the warrior of war and violence. This is the inner warrior. The one who dares to confront their own shadows, embrace their vulnerabilities, and act from integrity, not ego. In the Buddhist tradition, this is the path of the Bodhisattva, the awakened one who returns to serve others. Not from superiority, but from compassion and commitment. 18 carries this vibration. It asks, what are you willing to face within yourself to live your truth? Number 18. The symbol of rebirth and strength. Across spiritual traditions, the number 18 has long been associated with strength, karma, and transformation. In Hebrew tradition, the number 18 represents the word, shai, meaning life. In Buddhism, it resonates with the 18 realms of existence, from the base instincts of suffering to the highest states of awareness. These aren't just external dimensions. They are the realms we travel through within ourselves, often in a single day. To encounter 18 is to be reminded that life is fluid, not fixed. You may wake up discouraged, anxious, or lost, but with intention, you can realign, act with courage, and shift into clarity. This is the warrior's way, not to deny pain, but to transform through it. The energy of turning points. People often see 18 during turning points, moments of major decision, emotional release, or inner reckoning. Have you been feeling the urge to break free from an old pattern? A sense that a part of your life no longer fits? An inner restlessness, calling you towards something greater? If so, the 18th of May be your spiritual signal that you're ready to evolve. Not to abandon your past, but to integrate it, to alchemize your wounds into wisdom. In Buddhist philosophy, the fearless heart. Buddhism doesn't glorify suffering, but it does teach us that suffering can be a teacher. The warrior of the heart doesn't seek pain, but when it comes, they don't run from it. They face it, bow to it, and learn from it. This is what the number 18 invites you to do. It's easy to be peaceful in peaceful times, but true spiritual maturity is revealed when you choose peace within chaos, when you choose compassion within conflict, and when you keep going even when your path is unclear. In Zen Buddhism, the phrase, fall down 7 times, get up 8, captures this perfectly. 18 is that 8th rise, the moment you stop surviving and begin thriving. The warrior archetype. Courage in action. Let's explore what it means to embody the warrior spirit in a modern, mindful, and Buddhist aligned way. 1. Courage over comfort. The warrior doesn't wait until the fear disappears. They act alongside the fear. Number 18 encourages you to stop waiting for perfect clarity and start moving in alignment with your values. Ask yourself, what decision am I postponing out of fear? What truth have I been avoiding? Clarity is not always a prerequisite for action. Sometimes, action is what brings clarity. 2. Accountability, not shame. The warrior takes responsibility, not to punish themselves, but to reclaim power. When something goes wrong, they ask, what is this here to teach me? Number 18 invites you to release blame. Forgive yourself and others, and use every experience as fuel for growth. 3. Purpose beyond self. True warriors aren't just fighting for themselves. They're driven by something deeper: family, community, spiritual duty. If you've been living only for survival or personal gain, 18 is asking you to reconnect with service and meaning. Karma and the mirror of 18. In numerology, 1 plus 8 equals 9, the number of completion, karmic release, and spiritual maturity. It signifies the end of a cycle, the readiness to move forward with wisdom gained. This is where number 18 becomes a mirror. It reflects your past actions, beliefs, and fears, and challenges you to release what no longer serves you. In Tibetan Buddhist practice, practitioners engage in chod, a ritual that involves facing inner demons and offering them compassion. You don't defeat your fears by fighting them. You disarm them with awareness and love. 18 is your chance to do that. Ask, what habit, belief, or relationship am I being called to release? What part of myself am I afraid to face? Who could I become if I let go of this fear? The influence of May 17, 2025. Cosmic support for action. Astrologically, May 17, 2025 brings potent planetary energies that align with inner revolution. Paired with 18, this becomes a time of accelerated transformation. Don't be surprised if you feel an urge to make bold life changes. Unexpected events push you out of your comfort zone. Emotions surface for healing. Don't resist these signs. They are not punishments, they are preparations. You're being aligned with your next level of truth. Ritual practice. Claiming the warrior within. To embody the energy of 18, try this ritual. The warrior fire meditation. Set the space. Light a candle. Sit in a safe, quiet space. Breathe deeply. Inhale courage. Exhale doubt. Visualize a fire in your heart. Not destructive, but radiant. This is your strength, your truth, your light. Repeat aloud. I am not afraid to evolve. I release what no longer serves. I rise with purpose, courage, and clarity. Afterward, write down one belief or fear you're ready to release. Burn or bury it symbolically. This is not superstition. It's intention made visible. The example of great seers, Nostradamus and Baba Vanga. Both Nostradamus and Baba Vanga, mystics often referenced in spiritual circles, identified 18 as a number of prophetic insight and karmic transition. It marks the soul's readiness to shed illusion and step into higher purpose. In your own life, this may show up as a sudden awareness of toxic patterns, a longing for meaningful work, a call to lead, guide, or teach others. Don't ignore these inner pulls. They are spiritual instructions dressed as intuition. Affirmations to anchor the spirit of 18. Say these aloud or write them daily. I am strong enough to change. I walk my path with courage and compassion. I am no longer defined by my past. Each day, I rise with intention and clarity. My fear is not my future. My truth is. Conclusion. Rise with integrity. The number 18 is not just lucky. It's sacred. It doesn't promise ease, but it promises awakening. It asks for your honesty, your bravery, and your willingness to meet life with both strength and grace. If you're seeing 18, or feeling its pull as we move closer to May 17th, 2025, take it as a call to stand taller, act braver, and live clearer. Let your life become a mirror of your inner warrior, not in resistance, but in resonance with your purpose. You are not here to repeat. You are here to rise. And 18 is the number that shows you how. Chapter 4. Number 22. The Master Builder and the Architecture of Destiny. A jug fills drop by drop. Buddha. Some numbers whisper, some shout, and then there are a few, like number 22, that shape destinies. To encounter 22 is not merely to receive a sign of luck, it is to receive a blueprint. It signals that you are not here simply to exist, but to create, to build, and to transform vision into form. Known in numerology as a master number, 22 is often called the Master Builder. It holds the vibration of the architect of reality, someone who doesn't just dream, but actualizes those dreams into tangible, lasting structures that benefit not only the self but society at large. As we approach Saturday, May 17, 2025, the resonance of 22 becomes even more pronounced. The cosmic energies surrounding this day encourage long-term thinking, strategic planning, and spiritually aligned action. If you've been receiving signs of 22 on clocks, receipts, license plates, or even in moments of deep reflection, consider it a cosmic construction permit. The universe is giving you permission to build your legacy. 22. The convergence of vision and action. The power of 22 lies in its dual nature. It is composed of the number 2, which symbolizes balance, harmony, and relationship, repeated and amplified, but it also reduces to 4, 2 plus 2, a number of foundation, structure, and discipline. Thus, 22 merges the sensitivity of the heart with the discipline of the mind. It calls for vision with grounding, dreams with deadlines, and faith with function. It's a reminder that divine ideas require earthly effort. What 22 asks of you? To work with the energy of 22 is not passive. It's not just about affirmations and hoping for success. It's about building in alignment with your purpose. Day by day, block by block, here's what the number 22 invites you to reflect on. What am I building, not just for today, but for 10 years from now? Are my actions aligned with my deepest values? Am I willing to do the internal work necessary to support external success? The number 22 doesn't just bless you with power, it holds you accountable to use it wisely. The Master Builder Archetype. Visionary in motion. Let's explore what it means to embody the Master Builder in your life. 1. A clear vision. Before a builder lifts a brick, they have a blueprint. 22 is your spiritual architect, asking, what do you want to build in your life? Not just financially, but emotionally, spiritually, relationally. You may feel a strong inner pull right now, a vision for a business, a life change, a creative project, or a way to give back. Don't ignore it. 22 is the confirmation that your dream is not just possible, it is necessary. 2. Foundations first. A wise builder doesn't start with the roof. They lay the foundation. Ask yourself, is your physical health supporting your spiritual growth? Are your relationships supporting your purpose? Is your financial life structured to allow for freedom? If not, 22 is asking you to return to the roots. Not to punish yourself, but to rebuild from solid ground. This is not a setback. It's a sacred redirection. 3. Consistent, intentional effort. Master builders don't rely on bursts of inspiration. They show up, day after day, aligned with their vision. As the Dhammapada says, as a solid rock is not shaken by the wind, the wise are not moved by praise or blame. The work you are doing, internally and externally, matters, even when it feels slow. Especially then. In Buddhist practice, right effort and the path of mastery. In the Eightfold Path, one of the core principles of Buddhist teaching is right effort. This does not mean obsessive grinding or burnout. It means effort with mindfulness, balanced, steady, infused with intention. Number 22 is a numeric embodiment of right effort. It says, you do not need to be perfect. You do need to be intentional. You do need to stay consistent. And, perhaps most importantly, you are already being guided. Saturn and the wisdom of slow success. Astrologically, the number 22 is aligned with the planet Saturn, the celestial teacher of discipline, time, and karmic reward. Saturn asks us to build slowly, wisely, and with integrity. It does not grant quick wins. But when it blesses for a lifetime. If you've been frustrated by delays or detours in your life, consider this. Delays are not denials. They are divine refinements. Buddhist proverb, sometimes, the universe slows you down not to punish you, but to prepare you. 22 is the energy of deep preparation. You're not just building a moment, you're building a movement. Practical reflection. How to align with the number 22. If you're seeing 22 frequently, especially around the May 17th portal, here are ways to align with it. 1. Write your vision down. Don't let your dreams live only in your head. Put them on paper. Be detailed. What do you want to create in 1 year? 5 years? 10 years? Who benefits from your creation? How will you feel when it's complete? When you clarify your vision, you summon the energy of 22 into form. 2. Build a routine that reflects your values. Ask, what does my current schedule say about what I value? Where is my time going? Does my calendar match my soul's calling? Even small adjustments can bring you back into alignment with your deeper path. 3. Take aligned action every day. Even one small step a day, an email, a decision, a healthy meal, a courageous conversation, is part of the architecture of your destiny. Never underestimate the compound effect of tiny, conscious actions. The double 2. Relationships and inner harmony. The number 22 is built on 2 twos, symbols of duality, cooperation, and union. This reminds us that we don't build in isolation. Ask yourself, who are my spiritual allies? Am I open to collaboration? Am I at peace with my inner self? 22 teaches that great structures are not built against others, but with others. And peace with others begins with peace within. So take time to heal what's fractured inside. Your outer world can only rise to the level of your inner integrity. Spiritual legacy. You are the bridge. In Buddhist teachings, life is viewed as impermanent, a constant flow of causes and conditions. And yet, what we build in this lifetime echoes across time. Your purpose, your deepest truth, is not just for you. It's a bridge between past generations and future ones. 22 calls you to recognize that your vision, your discipline, and your daily decisions contribute to a greater story. This is your legacy, not fame, not wealth, but impact. Who will be touched by what you build? Affirmations of the Master Builder. Here are some daily affirmations to anchor the energy of 22. I am building something that matters. I trust the timing of my life. Discipline is devotion in action. My vision is sacred. My work is worthy. Brick by brick, I create a life of purpose and peace. Ritual practice. The Builder's Altar. Create a small space in your home, a builder's altar. It doesn't have to be religious. Simply symbolic. Place on it a stone or crystal, representing foundation. A small journal or vision board. A quote or mantra. A symbolic object that connects you to your goal. Each morning, visit this altar. Light a candle. Say aloud your intention. Visualize yourself laying one brick on the path of your future. This isn't about superstition. It's about spiritual momentum. Conclusion. Build what only you can build. As we draw near to May 17, 2025, and as the vibration of 22 pulses through the collective field. Understand this. You are not here by accident. Your dreams are not foolish. Your effort is not invisible. The number 22 has found you because you are ready to become the architect of your own life. And not just for yourself, but for generations to come. So when doubt visits, when fear knocks, when progress feels slow, repeat this. I build with love. I build with purpose. I build what only I can build. Let the Master Builder within you rise. Number 29. The soul's call to evolve. No one saves us but ourselves. No one can and no one may. We ourselves must walk the path. The Buddha. In the quiet spaces between your thoughts. In those lingering moments before a big decision. In dreams that feel more like memories, you may have seen it. 29. It appears softly but consistently. On receipts. In addresses. As a date. A timestamp. A mile marker. You might be tempted to dismiss it. But what if it's not a coincidence? What if 29 is your soul whispering, urging you to grow, evolve, and transform, not someday, but now? Welcome to the deeper meaning of number 29. A sacred signpost that you are standing at the threshold of personal evolution. The symbolic power of 29, beyond just digits. At first glance, 29 might seem like an ordinary number. But in the language of numerology and spiritual philosophy, 29 carries a potent blend of energies. It is the fusion of 2. The energy of balance, diplomacy, intuition, and divine partnership. 9. The number of endings, wisdom, humanitarianism, and spiritual completion. Together, they create a dynamic tension between the call to relate and the call to release. To love and to let go. To seek connection while walking your path alone. In total, 2 plus 9 equals 11. A master number. And 11, as we've already explored, is the number of spiritual awakening, insight, and purpose. So when 29 appears, it's more than a sign of change. It's an invitation to awaken to your highest potential and live from the truth of your soul. A time of spiritual initiation. Number 29 appears most often when you're at a spiritual crossroad. You may be feeling restless or stuck, even if life seems fine on the surface. Sensing a deeper calling but unsure what it is or how to answer. Re-evaluating your relationships, career, or identity. Letting go of something, or someone, that once felt essential. The message of 29 is clear. You are ready for more. Not more in terms of material success or external validation, but more meaning. More alignment. More authenticity. This is your initiation. 29 in the cycle of transformation. In Buddhist teachings, impermanence, anicca, is one of the core truths. Everything changes. Nothing lasts. To suffer is to resist this truth. To awaken is to accept it. Number 29 echoes this teaching. It often arises when you're being asked to complete a karmic cycle, to finally release a pattern, belief, relationship, or way of being that has outlived its purpose. This is rarely easy, but it's always necessary. And the universe doesn't ask you to give something up without preparing to give you something greater in return. Yourself. Your true self. Breaking down the energies. 2 and 9. Let's go deeper into what these numbers symbolize when they come together in 29. 2. The peacemaker. The number 2 brings themes of balance and harmony, empathy and sensitivity, collaboration and duality, trusting intuition. It reminds you that evolution is not a solo endeavor. Even though your path is unique, your growth intertwines with others. When 2 appears in 29, it's asking, are you in alignment with your relationships, especially the one you have with yourself? 9. The old soul. Number 9 is deeply spiritual. It signifies completion and endings, wisdom through experience, compassion and service, letting go with grace. In 29, it signals that something is ready to end, not as a loss, but as a liberation. It asks, what are you ready to release to make space for who you're becoming? The Master. Number 11. Soul awakening. When you reduce 29, 2 plus 9, you get 11, a master number associated with psychic insight, spiritual revelation, sudden clarity, purpose-driven action. It's a wake-up call. You are not who you were. And you're not quite yet who you're becoming. But you're closer than ever. Signs you're in the energy of 29. You may be moving through a 29 phase of your life if you're frequently dreaming of flying, falling, or transforming, attracting synchronicities and repeated spiritual symbols, feeling like the old ways just aren't working anymore, experiencing deep emotional releases, crying, fatigue, vivid memories, ready to live more authentically, even if it disrupts others' expectations. If this resonates, take heart. You're not unraveling. You're shedding. You're not breaking. You're breaking open. What 29 is asking you to do? Pause and reflect. The first step is stillness. 29 asks you to get quiet enough to hear your soul. Journal prompts. What am I outgrowing? What part of me is trying to emerge? What am I afraid to release? And why? Trust the cracks. Rumi once said, the wound is where the light enters you. 29 echoes this. It's not about fixing yourself. It's about finding yourself in the places you once hid your pain. Let go with intention. Release doesn't mean failure. It means you're growing. Say it out loud. I release what no longer serves my evolution, with gratitude and love. Step into your future. What new chapter is trying to begin? Don't wait until it's perfect. Begin as you are, and grow as you go. 29 in relationships. Soul contracts and karmic closures. Many people encounter 29 energy when they are ending or transforming a long-term relationship, meeting someone who catalyzes deep inner change, confronting generational or ancestral patterns. These are not random. They are soul contracts. You may have chosen, before this lifetime, to meet certain people at key moments to trigger your growth. Not every relationship is meant to last, but every meaningful one is meant to teach. Ask yourself, is this connection aligned with who I'm becoming? If the answer is no, it may be time to release with grace, not out of anger, but in honor of your evolution. Buddhist insight. 29 and the middle way. The Buddha taught the middle path, the way of balance between indulgence and denial. 29 reflects this. It asks you to balance action with surrender, balance external achievement with internal growth, balance giving with receiving. This is not about extremes. It's about wholeness. Practical tools for working with 29 energy. 1. The Evolution Journal. Start a journal with the prompt, who am I becoming? Every day. Write 1 page. No judgment. Just honesty. Track your emotional, spiritual, and physical changes over time. This will anchor your growth. 2. Sacred Release Ritual. Light a candle. Write down everything you're ready to let go of. Speak it aloud. Burn the paper, safely, or bury it in the earth. Feel the energetic shift. You're not just letting go. You're making space. 3. Daily grounding practice. Change is exciting, but it can also be destabilizing. Ground yourself daily. 10 minutes of barefoot walking on natural earth. Drinking herbal tea mindfully. Practicing deep belly breathing. Staying grounded ensures you don't get lost in the clouds of transition. Affirmations for 29 energy. Say these aloud each morning, or whenever you feel uncertain. I am evolving exactly as I need to. I trust the process of becoming. I let go with love. I grow with grace. My soul knows the way. And I am listening. Every ending opens the door to something greater. The gift of 29, soul maturity. Number 29 isn't just a phase. It's a threshold into maturity, not just emotionally, but spiritually. You may find that you begin choosing peace over drama. Feel less attached to things that once defined you. Discover joy in simplicity. Seek meaning more than validation. Live more authentically, even if it's uncomfortable. This is what soul growth looks like. It's not always flashy, but it's always freeing. Final thoughts. Walking through the doorway. As May 17, 2025 approaches, and the number 29 continues to present itself, understand that you are standing before a doorway. Not one someone else built, but one your soul carved with quiet persistence. And now, it is time to walk through. You don't need to know exactly where it leads. You just need to trust that everything you need is already within you. Just when the caterpillar thought the world was over, it became a butterfly. So go ahead, evolve. Number 34. Stability and healing. The foundation beneath your growth. Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. The Buddha. There's a quiet kind of power that doesn't rush or force. It builds. One breath, one choice, one day at a time. That's the energy of number 34, the number of stability, grounded healing, and inner alignment. If you've been encountering 34 often, on clocks, receipts, addresses, or seemingly random moments, take it not as coincidence, but as an invitation. You are being called to stabilize, to slow down, heal, and anchor yourself deeply before continuing the climb. Let's explore why 34 is not just a lucky number, but a foundational force for those ready to build a lasting, soul-aligned life. The energy behind the number 34. In numerology, 34 carries a harmonious vibration derived from its components. 3. Expression, creativity, joy, emotional openness, and communication. 4. Stability, structure, foundation, discipline, and groundedness. Together, they form 7. 3 plus 4 equals 7, the number of spiritual introspection, divine timing, and inner wisdom. So 34 is a deeply layered number. It blends the bright energy of creation and joy with the necessity of boundaries and form. It is the bridge between inspired vision and practical reality. When 34 appears, a spiritual message for grounding. The presence of 34 is a sign that it's time to fortify your foundations, spiritually, emotionally, financially, and energetically. Ask yourself, am I building my life on solid ground or shifting sand? Do I feel emotionally steady, or am I rushing from one thing to the next? What unresolved pain or pattern is silently pulling me off course? What would it mean to truly feel safe, not just secure? 34 arrives when your soul is asking for stillness, not stagnation, for healing, not hiding, for intentional rebuilding, not retreat. The healing power of stability. In modern life, the pace of change can be relentless. Success is often measured in motion, in achievement, in outward movement. But healing? Healing happens in the pause. And stability isn't the absence of change, it's the presence of something solid enough to carry you through it. Number 34 brings the reminder that true healing doesn't happen when everything is perfect. It begins when you feel safe enough to stop running. It whispers, breathe, ground. You're safe to feel now. You're safe to heal now. Breakdown of 3 and 4. The inner union. Number 3, the creative inner child. The 3 energy in 34 represents joy, self-expression, optimism, emotional flow. It is the inner child within you, the one who still believes in magic, possibility, and play. But this inner child, like all children, needs structure to thrive. Number 4, the grounded architect. Number 4 brings security, boundaries, practicality, order. It is the inner adult, the one who builds the walls, pays the bills, sets the routine. But without joy, structure becomes rigidity. So what does 34 do? It unites the two, the dreamer and the doer, the heart and the hands. It calls you to build a joyful, safe, meaningful life, one small act at a time. 34 in the root chakra. Healing from the ground up. Energetically, 34 connects to the root chakra, Muladhara, the energy center at the base of your spine that governs safety, security, stability, basic needs, family and home. When the root chakra is unbalanced, you may feel anxious or restless, disconnected from your body, chronically worried about money, health, or survival, ungrounded or unstable in relationships. The presence of 34 is a message. It's time to come home to your body, to address what's been ignored, to root deeply so you can rise fully. Spiritual lesson of 34. Heal before you hustle. 34 arrives when your soul is telling you, it's okay to pause. You don't need to keep pushing. You don't need to fake joy. You need to rest, to repair, to realign. Like a tree before it grows taller, your roots must grow deeper. Healing doesn't mean you're behind, it means you're preparing to last. In relationships, building trust, brick by brick. If you're seeing 34 in relation to your love life, family, or friendships, it may indicate a time to rebuild trust after rupture, fortify healthy boundaries, communicate more openly and patiently, create emotional safety for yourself and others. Healing in relationships doesn't happen through grand gestures, it happens through small, consistent acts of love and truth. 34 is the number of emotional carpentry, shaping, sanding, and strengthening the connections that matter most. 34 in career and finances, the sustainable path. Professionally, 34 may show up when you're being guided to build long-term financial security, not just chase quick wins. Create sustainable routines that support your mental health. Return to your purpose, not just your paycheck. It asks, are you building a life that can actually hold your success? This number reminds you that financial healing is not about hoarding wealth. It's about creating a container of stability that supports your freedom. Buddhist wisdom. The middle way is foundation. The Buddha taught that the path to enlightenment is found not in extremes, but in the middle way. Too much indulgence leads to chaos. Too much austerity leads to suffering. Number 34 channels this wisdom. It urges you to eat nourishing food, but not to excess. Earn a living, but not become a prisoner to work. Love deeply, but not lose yourself in others. Express your truth, but not at the expense of kindness. Stability is balance, not perfection. It's choosing what supports your peace. Over and over again. When life feels unstable, 34 is a sacred anchor. If you're currently moving through a breakup or relational loss, financial stress, a health challenge, emotional burnout, identity shifts, then the energy of 34 is especially relevant. It's not here to fix you. It's here to hold you. To be the energetic reminder that you don't have to spiral or sprint. You can just stand still, breathe, and rebuild from right here. Practical ways to integrate 34's energy. 1. Create a daily grounding ritual. Stability begins in small, repeatable actions. Try drinking warm tea mindfully each morning. Practicing 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Grounding. 5 things you see. 4 you feel. 3 you hear. 2 you smell. 1 you taste. Journaling your top 3 priorities each day. 2. Heal your space. Your outer space reflects your inner world. Clean a corner of your home. Fix something broken. Light a candle. Bring in a plant. Make your space say, "You are safe here." 3. Return to your body. Stability is somatic. Walk barefoot. Breathe deep into your belly. Stretch. Lay on the ground. Trust your body's wisdom. It's always trying to bring you back to balance. Affirmations for number 34. Speak these aloud or write them daily. I am grounded in peace and purpose. Stability is my strength, not my prison. I trust the timing of my healing. I am safe. I am held. I am whole. With every breath, I return to center. The deeper meaning. Peace that lasts. Number 34 doesn't promise quick success or flashy transformation. It offers something better. Peace that lasts. Healing that sticks. Strength that doesn't shatter. As May 17, 2025 approaches, a date of rare spiritual alignments, 34 invites you to slow down, realign, and build something real, not for the world's applause, but for your soul's peace. Closing reflection. Becoming the builder of your own peace. The sacred energy of 34 reminds us that true growth is not about soaring higher, but standing stronger. That safety is not weakness. That healing is not indulgent. That structure is not a cage, but a container for joy. Your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. Rumi. So take this number as your sign. You are allowed to slow down. You are allowed to heal. You are allowed to create a life that feels safe, stable, and aligned, one small act at a time. You are the builder. Conclusion. Aligning with the path of purpose, the true fortune awaits. Your life does not get better by chance. It gets better by change. Jim Rohn. As we bring this profound spiritual journey to a close, let us pause, breathe deeply, and reflect on the sacred wisdom we've uncovered, one number, one insight, one deeper truth at a time. Each of the 6 sacred numbers, 11, 17, 18, 22, 29, and 34, is not just a digit or symbol. Together, they form a cosmic map, a spiritual blueprint guiding you toward abundance, clarity, resilience, and ultimately, tranquility. This is not a story of chance or superstition. This is a story of alignment. A story of awakening to the messages hidden in plain sight, encoded within numbers, embedded in the rhythm of your everyday life, and illuminated by the timeless wisdom of Buddhist teachings and spiritual insight. Let us walk back through this sacred ground, briefly, yet purposefully, so we can carry its meaning with clarity into our next steps. Number 11. Intuition and higher awareness. Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. The Buddha. Number 11 stood before us like a spiritual doorway, calling us not just to notice the signs around us but to listen deeply to the voice within. This is the number of spiritual sensitivity, synchronicity, and visionary perception. It is the gentle nudge to trust your inner compass, even when logic cannot map the way. It's about learning to pause and hear the whisper of your own soul. As we continue forward, let number 11 remain your signal to come back home to yourself, again and again. Number 17. Resilience and long-term success. Number 17 emerged as the quiet but steady force of endurance. In a world obsessed with speed and instant gratification, 17 taught us to value discipline, patience, and consistency, the qualities that bring not just success, but meaningful success, when life feels slow or invisible, when progress doesn't feel loud. 17 assures you, you're still building something sacred. It's the karmic truth that long-lasting growth comes not from dramatic leaps, but from showing up, quietly and faithfully, even when no one is watching. Number 18. The warrior spirit. Bold and raw. Number 18 ushered in the energy of the spiritual warrior, not one who fights for dominance, but one who stands tall in purpose. It urged you to look at the crossroads of your life, to confront fear, and to say yes to transformation, not comfort. You were asked to choose integrity over illusion, courage over complacency, truth over safety. 18 reminded you that power lies not in resistance, but in awareness, in learning to face your inner landscape with clarity. You become a leader, not of others, but of your own energy. Number 22. The master builder. The number 22 was your call to create wisely, with one foot in the spiritual world and one in the material. 22 represents the sacred task of turning your inner vision into something tangible. It's not about dreaming alone, it's about building the dream, brick by brick, aligned with purpose. 22 taught that discipline is not a restriction but a devotion to the future you believe in. It showed you that you're not just passing through life, you are designing it. Number 29. The soul's call to evolve. Evolution is rarely comfortable, and number 29 didn't pretend it would be. Instead, it offered you a mirror, one that reflects not just who you are now, but who you're capable of becoming, if you're willing to let go. 29 is the number of karmic release. It is about letting go of identities, habits, relationships, and stories that no longer support your highest growth. It reminded you that nothing in life is permanent, And true peace comes from riding the waves, not resisting them. To see 29 is to be asked, are you ready to evolve? Number 34, stability and healing. Finally, number 34 brought us back to ground, to the breath, to the body, to the present. It whispered that real transformation doesn't last without stability. That healing isn't indulgent, it's essential. You were reminded that stability is the container in which your gifts grow. And healing is the soil in which your future self can take root. 34 was the sacred reminder that you don't need to run faster, you need to feel safer. To tend to your foundations, gently and wisely. The complete picture. A sacred sequence of becoming. When seen as a sequence, these 6 numbers form an evolution of soul and spirit. 11 awakening. The call inward. 17 strengthening. The commitment to the long game. 18 confrontation. The test of courage and clarity. 22 creation. The alignment of vision and action. 29 evolution. The process of letting go. 34 integration. The healing of the foundation. Each number leads into the next like steps on a spiral staircase. They don't pull you upward randomly, they guide you inward and upward. Towards truth, abundance, and wholeness. Beyond May 17th. Your journey has just begun. May 17th, 2025. As discussed throughout this teaching, holds powerful energetic alignments, ones that amplify these number frequencies for those paying attention. But let us be clear. The real transformation does not occur in the stars. It occurs in you. You are not a victim of chance. You are a co-creator of change. Whether it's Saturday, May 17th or any day of the year. The numbers continue to speak. The wisdom continues to flow. The path continues to unfold. And the question is no longer, what will I receive? The real question is, what am I ready to become? Let this be your roadmap forward. Use the 6 sacred numbers not as superstitions, but as guiding principles. When confused, return to 11 and listen inward. When tired, remember 17 and keep going. When afraid, call on 18 and stand tall. When scattered, align with 22 and focus. When stuck, lean into 29 and release. When restless, ground with 34 and heal. Let them form a circle around you, a constellation of wisdom you carry into every season of your life. You're not alone. Join us on the road to tranquility. This journey, though deeply personal, is not one you have to walk alone. Here on the road to tranquility, we're more than just a channel. We're a community of seekers, soul builders, and conscious creators. If these words spoke to you, if these numbers resonated deeply, if you've felt even the smallest spark of clarity, peace, or purpose during this experience, then I invite you to join us. Subscribe to the road to tranquility. Seedling, comment your reflections below. Dove, share this video with someone who may be ready to hear the message. Each time you engage with the channel, you help spread not just content, but consciousness. Together, we're not chasing fortune. We're cultivating inner wealth. We're not just hoping for better. We're becoming better, from the inside out. Final words. Let the journey continue. You've made it this far not by chance, but because something in your spirit is ready to rise. So take a moment, reflect, integrate, then take one small step forward, in thought, in action, or simply in presence. And remember, the universe speaks not in noise, but in signs. Your soul speaks not in fear, but in truth. The road ahead is not random, it's yours to walk. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. We'll see you in the next chapter, on the road to tranquility.